Chapter 1: A Fateful Encounter. Layla the Red stood on the threshold of an ordinary day, unaware that her life was about to be forever changed. The sun cast its golden rays over the bustling city, bringing with it the promise of new adventures. Layla's heart beat with anticipation as she joined her family on a journey to the enchanting amusement park that lay on the outskirts of town. The city itself was a tapestry of vibrant colors and bustling activity. Merchants haggled in the market square, children laughed and played in the streets, and the sweet aroma of freshly baked pastries wafted through the air. It was a place where dreams and reality intertwined, where magic danced just out of reach. Layla's family, a warm and loving unit, reveled in the joy of spending time together. Her parents, Thomas and Amelia, were pillars of strength and kindness, instilling in Layla and her younger brother, Benjamin, the values of compassion and empathy. The family's outings to the amusement park were cherished traditions, a chance to escape the routines of daily life and embrace the wonders of the world. As they made their way through a picturesque forest path that led to the park, Layla's ears caught a faint cry for help carried by the wind. Curiosity ignited within her, and she felt an undeniable pull toward the source of the distress. Her love for animals, instilled in her since childhood, tugged at her heartstrings. "I heard something," Layla said, her voice laced with concern. It sounded like an animal in distress. Thomas and Amelia exchanged glances, their eyes reflecting the same compassion that burned within Layla's soul. They understood their daughter's unyielding love for creatures great and small. "Let's investigate, but be cautious," Thomas advised, his voice a soothing balm. "We must ensure our safety." With each step they took, the cries grew louder, filling the air with an urgent plea. Layla's senses heightened, and she quickened her pace, her heart pounding in her chest. She darted off the path, following the sounds that seemed to resonate deep within her. And then she saw it, an injured wolf, its beautiful coat matted and stained with blood. The creature's pained eyes met Layla's, and in that instant, an unspoken connection was formed. She approached cautiously, her hands outstretched in a gesture of peace. But just as Layla neared the wounded animal, a figure emerged from the shadows, causing her heart to skip a beat. It was a majestic being, half human and half wolf, a creature known as the Wolf Prince. His presence exuded power and ferocity, his eyes a mesmerizing blend of amber and silver. Layla's breath caught in her throat, unsure of how the Wolf Prince would react. She expected aggression or disdain, for tales of his contempt for humanity had reached her ears. But to her astonishment, the Wolf Prince regarded her with gratitude, his voice carrying a trace of vulnerability. "Thank you for your kindness," he spoke, his tone both deep and melodious. "You have come to my aid when others would have turned away." Layla's emerald eyes widened in disbelief. The stories of the Wolf Prince had painted a picture of a fearsome and distant ruler. Yet, standing before her was a being capable of gratitude and appreciation, a creature whose heart, perhaps, yearned for compassion. Without hesitation, Layla kneeled beside the injured wolf, her fingers delicately examining its wounds. Her heart poured love and healing into her touch, and the creature seemed to respond to her gentle ministrations. As she worked, the Wolf Prince revealed the truth behind his predicament. "I have been trapped intentionally," he confessed, his voice tinged with bitterness. Those who seek to harm me have used their cruelty to separate me from the world I once knew. His words stirred something within Layla, a profound sadness for the Wolf Prince's isolation and a determination to show him a different side of humanity. She had always believed that acts of kindness held the power to transform hearts, and this encounter only solidified her conviction. As days turned into weeks, Layla found herself drawn to the Wolf Prince's palace on a mysterious and magical island. It was a place of ethereal beauty where nature flourished and whispered secrets carried on the breeze. The bond between Layla and the Wolf Prince deepened with each passing moment, a friendship forged in a crucible of compassion. During their time together, Layla discovered that the Wolf Prince's initial contempt for humans had been born out of bitterness and isolation. His encounters with cruelty had caused him to withdraw from the world, seeking solace in his solitary existence. But in Layla, he found a ray of hope, a flicker of compassion that illuminated the darkness within his heart. Together, they explored the enchanting island, marveling at its wonders and sharing stories beneath the moonlit sky. Layla learned of the Wolf Prince's wisdom, his profound connection to nature, and his desire for a world where humans and creatures could coexist harmoniously. In turn, Layla's presence brought out the best in the Wolf Prince. His once cruel demeanor softened, replaced by a growing sense of empathy and understanding. He witnessed firsthand the power of love and kindness, as Layla's unwavering compassion resonated deep within him. But even in their idyllic haven, shadows loomed on the horizon. The seeds of envy and possessiveness had taken root within Valerian, the son of the city's ruler and a childhood companion of Layla. Valerian's admiration for Layla had twisted into an unhealthy obsession, a darkness that threatened to tear apart the delicate fabric of their world. Unbeknownst to Layla, Valerian watched from the shadows, his heart consumed by jealousy. He saw Layla's growing connection with the Wolf Prince as a threat, a barrier between him and the love he believed he deserved. Valerian's soul turned dark, and he began to devise a plan fueled by malice and treachery. Chapter 2: Unveiling the Wolf Prince's Story. As the days unfolded on the magical island, Layla delved deeper into the enigmatic world of the Wolf Prince. Her connection with him grew stronger, and her thirst for understanding intensified. She longed to unravel the mysteries that shrouded his past, to comprehend the reasons behind his initial disdain for humanity. One evening, as they sat beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient oak tree, Layla mustered the courage to broach the subject that had been gnawing at her curiosity. "Your Highness," Layla began, her voice gentle yet inquisitive. "I have always wondered about your past, about the events that shaped your views on humans. Would you be willing to share your story with me?" The Wolf Prince, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon, released a heavy sigh. He knew that Layla deserved to know the truth, to understand the depths of his pain and resentment. With a nod, he began to recount the tale of his troubled past. "I was once a prince of a prosperous kingdom," the Wolf Prince revealed, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "I lived in harmony with nature and its inhabitants, a guardian of the balance between humans and the enchanted realm. But greed and corruption crept into the hearts of some, and they sought to exploit the power that resided within our lands." Layla listened intently, her heart aching at the prince's words. She understood all too well the destructive force of human greed, having witnessed its consequences firsthand. She nodded, urging him to continue. In their quest for dominance, they unleashed a relentless wave of destruction, indiscriminately hunting and capturing the creatures of the enchanted realm. The Wolf Prince continued, his voice growing somber. I fought valiantly to protect my kin, to save the innocent from their clutches. But the darkness took its toll, staining my heart with bitterness and my soul with distrust. Tears glistened in Layla's eyes as she absorbed the weight of his tale. She reached out and clasped his hand, a gesture of solidarity and support. The Wolf Prince glanced at her, a mixture of gratitude and vulnerability flickering in his eyes. It was during that tumultuous time that I made a grave mistake, the Wolf Prince confessed, his voice quivering with remorse. Consumed by anger and grief, I allowed my resentment to consume me, closing myself off from the world of humans. I retreated to this island, hoping to find solace in solitude. Layla's grip tightened, her touch grounding him in the present. But you opened your heart to me, she whispered, her voice filled with tenderness. Your encounter with me has shown you that not all humans are driven by cruelty and greed. Together, we can bridge the gap between our worlds. The Wolf Prince's gaze softened as he looked into Layla's eyes. In her, he saw a glimmer of hope, a beacon of light in the darkness that had plagued him for so long. His voice trembled with emotion as he spoke, his words laced with gratitude. Layla, you have shown me a different side of humanity, he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. Your unwavering compassion has touched my soul, reminding me that love and kindness can prevail even in the face of darkness. Their connection deepened in that moment, their hearts entwined by a shared understanding and a desire for harmony. Layla realized that her purpose extended beyond tending to the wounded wolf she had first encountered. It encompassed healing the wounded soul of the Wolf Prince himself. Days turned into weeks, and Layla continued to visit the Wolf Prince on the enchanted island. They explored the island's ethereal landscapes, discovering hidden waterfalls, shimmering meadows, and vibrant flora. Layla's presence breathed life into the once desolate palace, infusing it with warmth and love. As their bond grew, the Wolf Prince found himself shedding the remnants of his bitterness and mistrust. Layla's belief in the power of love and her unwavering spirit had kindled a spark of hope within him, a belief in the potential for harmony between humans and the enchanted realm. But unbeknownst to Layla and the Wolf Prince, a shadow loomed on the horizon, a shadow cast by Valerian, whose envy and obsession had festered into something far more dangerous. Valerian, consumed by his twisted desires, hatched a plan that threatened to shatter the fragile peace they had found. Chapter 3: Blossoming Love. The sun's gentle rays danced across the enchanting island, casting a golden glow upon Layla and the Wolf Prince as they strolled through a vibrant meadow. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers, their petals unfurling in harmony with the burgeoning love between the two. As they walked hand in hand, Layla felt a sense of tranquility and belonging. The island had become a sanctuary, a haven where their love could flourish away from the prying eyes of the outside world. Every moment spent together deepened their connection, weaving an unbreakable bond between their hearts. Their conversations beneath the moonlit sky revealed layers of vulnerability and shared dreams. Layla spoke of her desire to bridge the divide between humans and the enchanted realm, envisioning a world where harmony reigned. The Wolf Prince, touched by her unwavering belief, began to see the potential for a future that transcended their individual worlds. One evening, as they stood on a cliff overlooking the shimmering ocean, the wolf prince turned to Layla with a glimmer of anticipation in his eyes. "Layla, my heart is filled with a love that knows no bounds. Will you be my companion, my partner in weaving a tapestry of love and understanding between our worlds?" Tears of joy welled up in Layla's eyes as she nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, my love," she whispered. "I choose to stand by your side, to fight for a world where love conquers all." Their embrace sealed their commitment, igniting the flame that burned brightly within their souls. From that moment on, Layla and the Wolf Prince stood united in their mission to bridge the gap between humans and the enchanted realm, and to inspire others to embrace love and compassion. As the island basked in the warmth of their love, news of their extraordinary bond began to spread across the kingdom. Whispers of their unyielding devotion reached the ears of those who had doubted the possibility of understanding between humans and the enchanted creatures. In the heart of the city where Layla resided, Valerian seethed with envy and anger. The news of Layla's love for the Wolf Prince was a bitter blow to his twisted desires. He had believed that his actions would drive a wedge between them, but instead, their love had only grown stronger. Driven by his malevolent intentions, Valerian hatched a plan to tarnish their love and sow seeds of doubt in Layla's heart. He knew that breaking her spirit was the key to unraveling the bond she shared with the Wolf Prince. Under the cover of darkness, Valerian orchestrated a series of deceitful acts. He spread false rumors, painting the Wolf Prince as a creature of darkness, a manipulative being whose only intent was to deceive Layla. Valerian's whispers echoed through the city, poisoning the minds of its inhabitants. Word of the rumors reached Layla's ears, casting a shadow of uncertainty over her heart. Doubt gnawed at her, threatening to dismantle the love she had so fervently believed in. The once clear path before her became clouded with confusion and fear. However, the bond between Layla and the Wolf Prince was forged on a foundation of trust and unwavering faith. Though swayed by the whispers that infiltrated her world, Layla found solace in the memories of their moments together, the shared laughter, the stolen glances, and the depth of their connection. One moonlit night, as Layla gazed out at the stars, she made a choice to confront the doubts that had plagued her. With a renewed sense of determination, she set out on a journey to seek the truth, to uncover the depths of Valerian's treachery. Guided by her love for the Wolf Prince, Layla ventured into the heart of the city, determined to unravel the web of deceit that threatened to tear them apart. She sought answers from those who had been swayed by Valerian's lies, listening to their tales of manipulated truths and distorted realities. As she pieced together the fragments of the truth, Layla's heart filled with a mix of anger and sorrow. The magnitude of Valerian's actions became clear, the depths to which he had gone to shatter their love. Yet, Layla refused to let his darkness consume her. Armed with the knowledge she had gathered, Layla returned to the enchanted island, her spirit ablaze with a newfound resolve. She sought out the Wolf Prince, determined to share the truth, to rekindle the flame of their love that had flickered in the face of adversity. Chapter 4: Valerian's Unhealthy Obsession. Deep within the heart of the city, Valerian's obsession with Layla consumed him. His dark and twisted desires fueled his actions, blurring the lines between love and possession. He had become a puppet of envy, driven to destroy anything that stood in the way of his twisted fantasy. Valerian's every waking moment was consumed by thoughts of Layla, the way her hair cascaded down her shoulders, the sound of her laughter, the light in her eyes. But these thoughts were tainted by possessiveness and an insatiable hunger for power. As Layla's love for the wolf prince grew, so did Valerian's resentment. He couldn't bear the thought of Layla's heart belonging to anyone else, especially not a creature of the enchanted realm. In his distorted perception, he believed that Layla's love was his birthright, something he deserved simply because of his position as the ruler's son. Driven by his delusions, Valerian delved into forbidden realms. He sought the aid of dark forces, engaging in ancient rituals and tapping into a well of forbidden magic. Desperate to obtain power, he made a pact that would forever alter the course of his destiny. The pact unleashed a torrent of dark energy within Valerian, corrupting his soul and distorting his once human form. Shadows clung to his every step, and his once charming facade twisted into a grotesque visage. The darkness that dwelled within him became an extension of his being, an outward manifestation of the turmoil consuming his heart. Fueled by newfound powers, Valerian began his sinister campaign against Layla and the Wolf Prince. His first move was to sow discord among the people, spreading lies and fabrications that tarnished the Wolf Prince's image. Rumors of his malevolence and deceit echoed through the city, poisoning the minds of its inhabitants. Valerian's influence extended beyond mere words. He orchestrated acts of sabotage, creating chaos and destruction that further deepened the divide between humans and the enchanted realm. The once harmonious city teetered on the brink of turmoil as fear and suspicion clouded the hearts of its residents. Unbeknownst to Valerian, Layla had uncovered his web of deceit. Armed with the truth and fueled by her unwavering love, she stood as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. She refused to let Valerian's twisted ambitions tear apart the fragile peace she had fought so hard to cultivate. With the aid of the Wolf Prince and a group of loyal allies, Layla devised a plan to expose Valerian's true nature. They sought to unveil his treachery and bring an end to his destructive path. The battle that lay ahead would not only determine the fate of the city, but also test the strength of Layla and the Wolf Prince's love. On the eve of the final confrontation, Layla stood before a mirror, gazing at her reflection. She saw the fire in her eyes, the determination etched upon her face. She knew that the battle ahead would be perilous, but she refused to let fear dictate her actions. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Layla and her allies assembled outside the city walls. The night air crackled with anticipation, a palpable energy that carried the weight of their collective resolve. The time had come to face Valerian and put an end to his reign of darkness. In the heart of the city, Valerian awaited their arrival. He reveled in his newfound power, relishing in the chaos and despair he had wrought upon the city. His eyes gleamed with madness as he watched the approaching figures, ready to strike fear into their hearts. But as Layla and the Wolf Prince stepped into the darkness, their love radiated like a beacon. Their bond was unbreakable, fortified by their shared experiences and unwavering belief in the power of goodness. With every step, they drew strength from one another, knowing that their love would guide them through the darkest of times. The battle that ensued was fierce and relentless. Powers clashed, darkness fought against light, and the fate of the city hung in the balance. Valerian unleashed his dark magic, his twisted obsession driving him to unimaginable lengths. But love proved to be a force more powerful than any darkness. Layla and the Wolf Prince fought with a determination fueled by their love for one another and their desire to protect the city they held dear. Their unity and unwavering resolve began to chip away at Valerian's power, exposing the cracks in his armor of darkness. In a final climactic clash, Layla confronted Valerian, her eyes burning with a mixture of compassion and defiance. She saw the remnants of the boy she once knew, lost beneath layers of darkness. With a voice filled with sorrow, she pleaded for him to let go of his unhealthy obsession, to release the city from his grip. Valerian wavered, his twisted desires conflicting with the memories of their shared past. For a moment, hope flickered within Layla's heart, believing that her words had reached him. But in the end, Valerian's obsession proved to be his downfall. In a fit of rage and desperation, Valerian unleashed his remaining dark powers, his malevolence threatening to consume everything in its path. But love prevailed. Layla, with the support of the Wolf Prince and their allies, tapped into the well of goodness within her. She harnessed the strength of her love, redirecting the dark energy back at Valerian. As the darkness dissipated, Valerian stood before them, weakened and defeated. His eyes, once filled with madness, now held a glimmer of remorse. In that moment, he saw the destruction he had caused, the lives he had shattered, and the love he had forsaken. With a heavy heart, Layla extended a hand toward Valerian. In a voice laced with sadness, she urged him to find redemption, to let go of his unhealthy obsession and seek forgiveness. But Valerian, consumed by his own darkness, chose a different path. With a final act of defiance, he disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind the wreckage of his misguided desires. The city, once cloaked in darkness, began to heal. The people, once divided by fear and suspicion, came together to rebuild what had been torn asunder. Layla and the Wolf Prince stood as symbols of hope and love, their bond a testament to the triumph of light over darkness. As the city flourished, tales of Layla's courage and the Wolf Prince's unwavering love spread far and wide. Their story became a legend, a tale of resilience, forgiveness, and the power of love to overcome even the darkest of obsessions. Chapter 5: Layla's Intuition. In the aftermath of the battle, the city slowly began to regain its former glory. The scars left by Valerian's dark reign were healing, and hope once again filled the hearts of its inhabitants. Layla, the Wolf Prince, and their allies worked tirelessly to restore the harmony that had been disrupted. As the days turned into weeks, Layla's intuition remained heightened. She could sense a lingering presence, a whisper in the wind that reminded her that their journey was not yet complete. Deep within her heart, she knew that Valerian's darkness still lingered, waiting for an opportune moment to strike again. Her intuition guided her steps as she wandered through the city streets, observing the joyful faces of its residents. But beneath the surface, she sensed unease, a collective apprehension that something was amiss. Layla couldn't shake the feeling that Valerian's obsession with her hadn't been fully extinguished. One evening, as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the city, Layla found herself drawn to a secluded garden on the outskirts. The air was heavy with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of a gentle breeze rustling through the trees provided a soothing backdrop. It was here that Layla hoped to find solace and perhaps unravel the mysteries that tugged at her heart. As she walked among the vibrant blooms, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Valerian, his once charming features now twisted by darkness. His presence sent a shiver down Layla's spine, but she stood her ground, refusing to let fear cloud her judgment. Valerian's voice dripped with a mixture of bitterness and desperation. He spoke of his continued obsession with Layla, how his every thought had been consumed by her even after his defeat. He claimed that he would stop at nothing to make her his own, to possess her heart and the power it held over him. Layla listened, her heart heavy with sadness for the boy she had once known. She saw the torment in his eyes, the way his voice cracked with a mixture of longing and anger. But she also recognized the danger he posed, not only to her but to the fragile peace they had fought so hard to restore. With a strength born of love and compassion, Layla confronted Valerian. She pleaded with him to let go of his obsession, to seek redemption and find a path that didn't involve darkness and destruction. But Valerian's twisted desires had consumed him entirely, blinding him to reason and compassion. As Layla stood before him, her voice filled with determination, her intuition led her to a realization. She understood that Valerian's obsession wasn't solely driven by his desires for her, but also by his own internal struggles and insecurities. He saw in her a symbol of everything he believed he lacked, a purity of heart, a connection to the enchanted realm, and the power to bring change. With a heavy heart, Layla made a decision. She knew that to protect the city and those she loved, she had to confront Valerian one last time. She couldn't allow his darkness to fester and grow, threatening the delicate balance they had fought so hard to restore. Gathering her allies, Layla devised a plan to confront Valerian on neutral ground, a place where his powers would be limited and their unity would be their greatest strength. They chose the sacred grove, a mystical place where the boundaries between the human world and the enchanted realm were thinnest. As the appointed hour approached, Layla and her allies stood within the sacred grove, their hearts brimming with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. Valerian appeared, his form twisted and distorted by darkness, his eyes burning with a dangerous intensity. Layla spoke with a voice filled with both conviction and sorrow. She expressed her deep concern for Valerian's well-being, her understanding of his struggles, and her unwavering belief in the potential for redemption. She implored him to let go of his obsession, to embrace the light within him and find a path of healing. But Valerian, consumed by his own darkness, refused to listen. He lashed out with his dark powers, threatening to unleash chaos upon the city once again. Layla's allies stood by her side, their united front a testament to their unwavering support. In a final act of defiance, Layla tapped into her intuition and the power of her love. She summoned the strength of the Wolf Prince's presence, the wisdom of the enchanted realm, and the collective hopes of the city's inhabitants. With a surge of energy, she redirected Valerian's dark powers back upon himself. Valerian crumbled to the ground, weakened and defeated. The darkness that had once consumed him was dispersed, leaving behind a shell of the boy he had once been. Layla approached him, her heart heavy with compassion. She extended a hand, offering him a chance at redemption, a glimmer of hope in the darkness. Valerian, for the first time, saw the extent of his actions and the devastation he had caused. His eyes filled with tears as he reached out and grasped Layla's hand, accepting her offer of forgiveness. From that moment on, Valerian embarked on a journey of redemption and self-discovery. Guided by Layla's compassion and the support of their allies, he sought to rebuild what he had destroyed and find his place in a world he had once rejected. The city, once again, breathed a collective sigh of relief. Layla's intuition had guided her well, and her unwavering belief in the power of redemption and forgiveness had triumphed over darkness once more. As the days turned into months, Layla and the Wolf Prince continued their mission to protect the city and nurture the newfound harmony between humans and nature. Their love remained strong, their bond unbreakable, and their journey far from over.